payload either. So, what's new with you? See the 5-passenger Ridgeline and all the other Honda trucks at your Honda dealer.
You're watching K2, the spirit of the Northwest.
This morning, whiteout, record cold and snow pound the Midwest and South. Isn't this late April? Holy War, the controversy over a massive televised religious rally. Christian conservatives versus Democrats. And who is a person of faith? And excessive force? Caught on tape, a 5-year-old, 4 police officers, and handcuffs. New questions about how to control a child.
From Times Square, this is Good Morning America with Charles Gibson and Diane Sawyer.
And good morning, everyone. I hope you had a good weekend. I'm Charles Gibson.
I'm Diane Sawyer, and it's Monday, April 25th, 2005. So much going on this Monday morning.
Breaking news, an extraordinary train accident in Japan. A commuter train jumped the tracks, rammed an apartment building in Japan. At least 50 dead. 340 is the latest on the injury toll, and we'll have more details on that ahead.
And back here at home, there is this mystery. It's unfolding as we bring you this broadcast this morning. 2 toddlers, brother and sister, disappear from their own home in Georgia. There is news in this case, as we said, and we'll give it just ahead.
Also, some people are asking whether Martha Stewart might have broken the rules of her house arrest by going to a party. Why can't you go to a party? Well, the question, anyway, is under investigation now, and we'll have that ahead.
When your bracelet is on your ankle, it's a different question. Coming up, a fast
like
food...
Like a corsage on your ankle, perhaps?
A fast food nightmare. Okay, we know about the Wendy's finger in the chili scam, and it was a scam, but there is a new case this morning. An Ohio man got something extra at Arby's when he ordered a chicken sandwich. We're going to spare you your cornflakes this morning and not tell you what right now, but he's here with his story coming up.
And the woman who had a very rough time singing our national anthem at a hockey game up in Canada. Couldn't get the lyrics quite right, left a couple of times.
That's right, came back.
And then came back and oops. Anyway, she's here live on Good Morning America. She is a good sport about all of it.
She really is. She'll be with us live. But let's head over to Robin at the news desk. You heard that giant from her. There she is.
That was me. Thanks, Diane. Good morning, everyone. Hope you had a great weekend. Spring is nearly half over, as you know, but many Americans are bundling up in their winter gear this morning. Through much of the Midwest, they're digging out from under a blanket of record snowfall. Here's ABC's Heather Cabot.
This was no little dusting. It was heavy, wet snow that snapped tree branches and power lines, leaving thousands of Midwesterners without electricity.
Anything is possible here. Anything. You might look up in the month of May and find some more snow.
The snow has been snarling traffic from Indiana east into Pennsylvania and south into North Carolina. In Michigan, it's been piling up in record numbers, more than 14 inches near Pontiac and more than 3 inches in Detroit. That was enough for baseball's Tigers to cancel both Saturday and Sunday's games. But it's not all bad, especially for the kids. And Midwesterners are a tough breed when it comes to the weather. For Good Morning America, Heather Cabot, ABC News.
The morning commute turned into a nightmare in Japan this morning. 50 people were killed when a train jumped the tracks and smashed into an apartment building. It happened 250 miles west of Tokyo. Authorities say excessive speed or driver inexperience may have caused the crash. Pope Benedict XVI said he prayed to God not to be elected Pope, but he said evidently God didn't listen this time. The pontiff made the comments during a meeting this morning with German pilgrims who'd come for his inauguration. He also met with leaders of other faiths, saying the church wants to build a bridge of friendship. Now, Pope Benedict gets favorable numbers in a new ABC News Washington Post poll. 81% of the Catholics poll approve of the choice of Benedict as Pope. And when asked what the church's highest priority should be, 71% said addressing the issue of sexual abuse by priests. Oil prices top the agenda as President Bush meets with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Abdullah in Texas today. Gas prices fell 4.5 cents nationwide in the past 2 weeks, but the president is hoping to convince Saudi Arabia to lower its record high prices. Today's meeting will also focus on Mideast peace and the progress of democracy in the region. Volkswagen's new Jetta is the first inexpensive car ever to earn top scores in every category of the Insurance Institute's crash test, including front and side impact. The Jetta was the only new model in this year's test of cars, priced at $21,000 or less. Volkswagen provided the Jetta for the test. And a Russian spaceship carrying 3 astronauts landed safely back on Earth this morning. The capsule touched down in Kazakhstan carrying an American, a Russian, and an Italian. The three are returning from the International Space Station. Since the Shuttle Columbia disaster, Russia's space program has been the only way to get to and from the station, but they're back here on Earth. And that's a first look at news coming up on 7:05. Charlie and Diane.
You tend to forget they're up there.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. Here they're doing this
for granted.
brave thing, and we do take it for granted. Well, let's head over for the weather. Guess who's here? It's Lee Goldberg, who's weatherman from WABC TV here in New York. Our pal Lee, in for Tony Perkins. Good morning, Lee.
Good morning, Diane and Charlie. Good morning to you at home. A cold crowd here on the sidewalk at Times Square. Bernitas look like a popsicle all morning. We're from Minnesota. You can take it.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
used to this.
All right. The lips are a little purple, though. We'll get you some hot chocolate. Look at the weather across the country. We're actually talking about cold across the Northeast, freeze warnings down in the Southeast. Our blizzard is leaving the Great Lakes. We're going to shift our attention to severe weather across parts of the South from Tulsa to Dallas, Houston. Also some showers out west, 4 inches of snow in parts of the Colorado Rockies into northern New Mexico. A few showers from Salt Lake back into Portland. Nice weather in the desert Southwest. That's the weather across the nation. Here's what you can expect.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Julia Radlick. We are seeing a lot of moisture come in from the east, which is kind of unusual, but it is getting the Portland metro area wet this morning. Your commute a bit soggy. However, the moisture will begin to leave here in the next couple of hours, and we should see a dry afternoon, but it'll definitely be cloudy, perhaps some sun breaks later today. 64 for a high with possible showers tonight. We dry out, and your 5-day forecast and 10-day trend is showing a beautiful day tomorrow with plenty of sunshine, 73 degrees. As a matter of fact, we're not looking at much rain for the next 10 days.
We'll huddle up and keep warm. No more weather in our next half hour. Charlie?
All right, thanks, Lee. We're going to turn next to the showdown over the courts. Evangelical Christians held a high-tech rally in Kentucky last night. You may have heard about it. And then they simulcast it to churches nationwide. They claim the federal courts are dangerously liberal, and the Democrats are making things worse by blocking some of President Bush's nominees for the federal bench. ABC's Linda Douglas has a report from Washington.
Because of that,
Christian conservative leaders urged evangelicals to demand that the Senate approve all of President Bush's judicial nominees.
so much that is precious to us is in the hands of the courts.
They lashed out at Democratic senators who have threatened to filibuster, debate endlessly, to block 10 of Mr. Bush's judicial appointees, especially those who oppose abortion rights.
Do they care about the sanctity of life? I think not, and they've made that very clear.
In a pre-taped message, Senate Majority Leader Bill Frist never mentioned religion, but urged the group to demand a vote on all judges.
I hope you'll call your senators and remind them, whether they're Republican or Democrat, that they work for you.
At a rally, liberal religious leaders denounced the campaign.
Republicans and their religious supporters are questioning the faith and the religious integrity of their opponents.
But evangelicals watching the telecast from their local churches said they were inspired.
I think our democracy is robust enough to withstand having people bring passionate beliefs into the public square.
Frist wants to force a change in Senate rules that would prevent Democrats from blocking judges. But some Republicans warn that injecting religion into the debate may make it more difficult. For Good Morning America, Linda Douglas, ABC News, Washington.
Joining us now for a discussion on all this from CNN's Crossfire, former Clinton advisor Paul Begala. And also joining me here in New York, Reverend Joe Watkins, a former advisor to President Bush. And I welcome you both. Paul, let me start with you. Why is this any different? Evangelical Christians hold a rally against activist judges, broadcasted around the country. Why is it any different than any other lobbying group doing the same? The AARP, for instance.
Well, because what they're doing is alleging that the Democrats are attacking people because of their religion. And there's just no evidence of that, Charlie. They have a perfect right to hold their rallies. I mean, when I heard it was Justice Sunday, I thought maybe it was a new Ben & Jerry's flavor or something, but apparently not. They're trying to say that my people are opposing 10 well-heeled, wealthy lawyers from going on the courts because of their religion. Well, the Democrats have allowed 205 of Mr. Bush's nominees to go on the court. So what were those 205? Were they heathens or pagans or Satanists or something? I don't think so. It's really unfair. You know, there was a time when some on the left would unfairly accuse conservatives of racism, and it debases the rhetoric when you do that. Now we have conservatives unfairly accusing Democrats of religious bigotry, which is really a shame. There is real religious bigotry in America. We saw it when George Bush went to Bob Jones University, which called Pope John Paul the Antichrist. That's real religious bigotry. That's what they should be against.
All right, let me take this to Reverend Watkins. Take Paul's comments, and also the editor of the Sojourner, who said there that Republicans, religious supporters, questioning the faith of their opponents.
Well, no, that's not the case, Charlie. Clearly, this is not even about religion. Obviously, there are Christian people and people of faith on both sides of the aisle, good people who are Democrats as well as Republicans. This is really a question of whether or not the senators are going to be allowed to do their constitutional duty, which is to vote up or down on the president's nominee for judges. And that's what this is all about.
But they're doing more than that. They're not only questioning these judges, they're also saying, overall, the courts are going too far and they need to be called to account for this.
But that's not what Senator Frist said. Senator Frist's message was a non-religious message to Americans, and it happened to be taped to these wonderful folks that were gathered at these churches, and I'm glad that they had a chance to hear that message. But it was a message that really resonates with all Americans. Let the senators do their job.
Well, the organizer of this event, a fellow named Perkins, said, and I'm going to quote him, "The federal courts pose a greater threat to representative government than terrorist groups." That's inflammatory, isn't it, Reverend?
Well, certainly Mr. Perkins is well able to say what he believes. He's a good Christian man. I know him very, very, very well. But Senator Frist, on the other hand, as the Senate Majority Leader, is saying, let the American people have their day. Let these nominees have an up or down vote. After all, 9 Democrats 10 years ago, including Senator Lieberman and Senator Harkin and Senator Kennedy and others, voted to end filibusters altogether because they thought they were obstructionists.
All right, let me go back then to Paul Begala. Is it as benign as Reverend Watkins would indicate?
No, I mean, Joe is conflating two very different arguments. There's the one argument about Senate procedures, who should get how many votes when. That's fine, and that's, I suppose, to some people, an interesting debate. What I have a problem with is when other people ascribe motives to the Democrats, when Dr. Dobson from Focus on the Family, a very powerful leader on the right, says that Democrats are prejudiced against people because of their faith, and I find that so outrageous. They have no idea. I don't think Dr. Dobson is able to actually peer into my soul and see why I oppose these 10 millionaire judges. And on what religion? I mean, the leader in the Senate for my party is Harry Reid. He's a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons. So I guess we can't be against Mormons. The leader of the Democrats in the Judiciary Committee is Teddy Kennedy. He's a Catholic, so I guess we can't hate the Catholics either. Joe Lieberman, Reverend Watkins mentioned, he's an Orthodox Jew, very observant. We can't hate them. Hillary Clinton's a Methodist and a Protestant. Who am I supposed to hate, Joe?
Well, nobody. I mean, we're supposed to love everybody and without conditions. I mean, that's what my faith
we do,
teaches
and we
me.
should start with that.
But clearly, this is bigger than religion. Let the senators do their job, their constitutional duty. And you know what? This is a free country. Dr. Dobson and others can say what they want. That's the beauty of America. People can voice their opinion. But clearly, when you talk about the elected officials, there's no discrimination.
All right. Joe Watkins, thanks very much. Paul Begala, thank you. Diane?
All right, Charlie, we turn now to this mystery that keeps changing almost hourly this morning about 2 small children who seem to have vanished from their home in rural Georgia, and Robin has been looking into it. Here she is.
You said it best, mystery indeed, Diane. 2-year-old Nicole Kane and her 3-year-old brother Jonah were apparently last seen by their mother in their home on Saturday. But investigators have not issued an Amber Alert because there are no signs that the children were abducted. Emergency workers and volunteers spent Saturday scouring the woods, ponds, and swamps of rural Warrenton, Georgia, for 2 toddlers. Nicole and Jonah Kane, just 2 and 3 years old, were playing inside their home on Saturday evening when their mom, Lottie Kane, says she left them for a few minutes to go to the bathroom. When she returned, she says the children were gone. The children's father made an impassioned plea on Fox's Rita Cosby show.
I'm just asking the people to please, if they see them or anything, please call the sheriff department right away. That's all I want, my kids back.
After a thorough search of the house and yard, Mrs. Kane says she called the police. Her call set into motion all the emergency resources the state has at hand. In addition to the foot searches, a helicopter equipped with infrared sensors that can detect objects by temperature was brought in to sweep the woods looking for the children.
We're just going to keep looking until we're told we don't need to anymore.
While authorities called off the search last night, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is still pursuing leads.
We'll just keep looking. We'll keep looking. We'll keep talking to people and keep following any leads or following any information that we can find until we locate them.
And the children's mother, Lottie Kane, was questioned and reportedly given a lie detector test last night. Authorities say they will resume the search later this morning and that they will hold a press conference as well later this morning. We'll be sure to keep you posted and let you know the latest. It's now 14 minutes after the hour. Charlie?
Thanks, Robin. Well, federal officials are investigating Martha Stewart after she attended an awards gala here in New York. As you may remember, Stewart has been under house arrest since her release from prison last month. And now the question is, did this night out on the town violate her parole? Is this a serious issue or merely a tempest in a very nicely decorated teapot? ABC's Chris Cuomo is here with the details. Chris?
You make the right point, Charlie. It's that Martha Stewart's been getting out of the house a lot lately for somebody who's supposed to be under house arrest. Most recently, it was Time Magazine's 100 Most Influential People. And the question is, was Martha Stewart out there having a party, or was she doing business?
Martha entered the gala as a guest of honor.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, as you can imagine.
And endured some ribbing about her special status.
She did, I will say this, fashion a shiv out of the lamb shank,
But things got much more serious after the party. Her appearance has now raised questions and headlines. Did her night on the town violate the terms of her house arrest?
If this were Martha Jones instead of Martha Stewart, she would most probably be in violation of the terms of her house arrest and risk going back to prison.
A statement released by Stewart's company said having Martha present at industry events where she is honored and recognized for her achievements is valuable to us. Stewart's defenders say she did nothing wrong.
Apparently, there's some kind of investigation into this event, even though the government pre-approved it itself, and it plainly was work-related.
Federal prosecutors had indeed pre-approved her appearance, but now they are probing to see if it was directly work-related.
If they pre-approved it, isn't that the end of the issue?
Ordinarily, but this is Martha Stewart. And it's an interesting scenario because both critics and friends agree that this instance shows Martha was treated unfairly. Friends say it was pre-approved. You're only coming after her because she's a big celebrity. Critics say if she were anyone else, house arrest would have nothing to do with being honored.
All right, Chris Cuomo, thanks very much. Let's go to Diane.
Okay, Charlie, we turn now to a story that is gathering steam around the globe this morning in the aftermath of the selection of Pope Benedict XVI. Everyone is talking about a prophecy attributed to a 12th century archbishop named St. Malachy, who seems to have had an eerie warning. And ABC's David Wright joins us live from the Vatican to tell us about it. David?
Good morning, Diane. You're right. There's a growing buzz about this pope. His papacy may just have begun, but some say already he has fulfilled a prophecy from a document that was lost in the Vatican archives until 500 years ago. Is it possible that in the 12th century, an obscure Irish saint predicted the rise of Benedict XVI? Legend has it St. Malachy of Armagh foretold the last 110 popes.
And to each of these popes he ascribed some sort of prophecy or prediction, a kind of epigram.
The epigram for the new pope's namesake earlier this century was "Religion laid waste." He reigned during the Bolshevik Revolution, whose leaders dismissed religion as the opiate of the masses. John the 23rd was foretold to be a pastor and sailor. Before his election, he was the Patriarch of Venice. And John Paul II, Malachy predicted, would do the work of the sun. He circled the globe, bringing light wherever he went. He was born during a solar eclipse and died during another.
The prediction for Benedict XVI is Gloria Olivae, glory of the olive.
And the new pope says he will be a peacemaker.
He's going to try and ask people to take up the olive branch instead of the sword. So from that point of view, this could be a moment when peace will triumph, when peace will be victorious and not war.
Now, there are those who say that Malachy is a bunch of malarkey, that either the document itself was an ancient forgery or that people just kind of shoehorn the facts to fit the prophecy. And Charlie and Diane, if it is true, then we really have something to worry about, because according to Malachy, we're now in the beginning of the last true papacy. And after this comes a false prophet, Armageddon, and the end of days.
Oh, that's a headline for the morning. Could we go back to that? Okay, thanks, David Wright.
In our first half hour this morning, the end of the world. Stay tuned.
Anyway, an amazing picture of the morning.
Picture of the morning is a journey to the North Pole is happening actually right now. Maddie McNair, a 53-year-old American woman, a mom, and she's trying to break the record for reaching the North Pole. On Sunday, she and her team were barely 100 miles away running low on supplies, their dogs starving, when a supply plane finally did make it to them. The record to get to the polls, 37 days, set in 1909. These are tough conditions that she's facing.
Unbelievable.
And she was on an ice floe at one point that was carrying her away from the poll.
This morning, in fact, we're trying to make contact with her, and we'll try to let you hear from her in real time.
Well, she doesn't have time to stop and make a phone call because she has to get there. In order to break the record, she has to get there by tomorrow at 4:21 p.m. to tie the record. And they asked her why she's doing it, and she said, I'm doing it for fun.
Go, Maddie.
If that's your idea of fun, folks. Anyway, we'll be back. Stay with us. Coming up on Good Morning America, caught on tape. Did 4 cops really need to handcuff a 5-year-old girl? How to control an unruly child ahead. And a surprise in an Arby's sandwich. How safe is your fast food? That ahead.
In nature, a bright, radiant appearance often belongs to the male.
Defy nature. Introducing Olay Radiance Reviver, a long-lasting body lotion with a hint of sunless tanner, giving you a sun-kissed glow.
Just when I get settled into a nice chest, I get thrown out by this guy.
Mucinex breaks up mucus that causes congestion, so you can get rid of it. And just one pill lasts up to 12 hours.
Don't push, I'm going.
Mucinex in, mucus out.
Inside every 2005 Ford Explorer is a gyrochip sensor. It constantly monitors vehicle motion to help keep all 4 wheels firmly planted. The technology is new roll stability control, and Explorer is the only SUV that has it. Ford, built for the road ahead.
Research shows 3 to 4 servings a day of dairy calcium, like Dan and Light and Fit, helps your body's fat-burning machinery, so you can be a lean, mean, fat-burning machine.
Not one of these allergy medicines can give you long-lasting seasonal allergy relief without the risk of drowsiness. But Allegra 180 can, for people 12 and over. Side effects are low and may include headache, cold, or backache. Choose long-lasting prescription Allegra.
There's not words that can describe how you really feel.
This is cool. I love it. I love it. We're all back.
Now, K2 News, brought to you by LA Weight Loss.
Good morning. It's 7:22, and I'm Julia Radlick. Here's what's making news this morning. There's already record gas prices at the pump. Now Washington state lawmakers are pushing them even higher. Yesterday, legislators passed a 9.5-cent gas tax hike. Lawmakers say roads, rails, and river traffic need help, and that $8.5 billion will go a long way towards improving conditions throughout the state. But some lawmakers say it's a mistake.
It's not just about one tax, but it's all the taxes that I think the taxpayers are going to see us leave this session feeling that we've piled on.
Meanwhile, the price at the pump will go up 3 cents in July, spreading the 9.5-cent tax increase over 4 years. In Southwest Washington, money from the tax will go towards widening Highway 502 between Battleground and Interstate 5 and Highway 14 in the Camas-Washougal area. There's also money set aside to study a new Columbia River bridge. Tonight, the Portland School Board will vote to approve next year's school budget. Under consideration is a plan to cut 261 full-time school staff positions and increase fees for participating in sports. The district is also considering proposals to cut high school golf, tennis, and dance team programs. The school board meeting begins at 6:30 tonight. Time now to check on the commute. Here's Brian McCoy. Hi, Brian.
Well, good morning. So far on the Banfield,
Some good news. Crews cleared an earlier disabled vehicle. It was just after 82nd. All that traffic is slow now. From 82nd to head down towards I-5. Out of Vancouver and I-5 southbound, it remains slow from Main Street across the bridge down into Delta Park. And right now on the Sunset, also a slow trip starting right at 185th in past Cedar Hills. More slowing right over the top of the hill down towards 405. For Town & Country Auto Dealerships and the K2 Traffic Team, Brian McCoy, K2 News.
Thanks, Brian. That's our news for now. We'll be right back with the look at weather.
Ready for spring? Then call LA Weight Loss.
This is me now after LA Weight Loss helped me lose 70 pounds. The first 10 days, I lost 7 pounds. I lost 13 pounds. And I thought, wow, I can do this. Doing the LA Weight Loss program, I'm now a size 4. LA Weight Loss changed my life, and it can change yours. Pick up the phone and call. 35 weeks, 98 pounds, you can do it.
Call for your free consultation, 1-888-370-THIN.
This is K2, the spirit of the Northwest. If you're in one of these locations, you may be able to receive a clearer signal by tuning to one of these UHF channels. Local news experience makes all the difference. Like K2 reporters with over 20 years local experience. Capitol watchdog Eric Mason.
You, the taxpayer, are going to be stuck with the bill.
Consumer advocate Ed Teachout.
It's a new way to protect yourself and save money.
And environmental journalist Brad McCombie.
Officers have a new tool called night vision.
Reporters with a finger on the pulse of the Northwest. Experience the difference at K2 News at 5. K2 News. The difference is local.
This Friday.
Let's go somewhere.
Where do you have in mind? The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is an amazing ride for the entire family. It's a magical and funny tour across the universe.
Is it a great galaxy or what? Huh?
It's totally original, exhilarating, and mind-blowingly brilliant. An awe-inspiring comedy that's loaded with surprises. It's hilarious.
Let's do it!
Thanks for leaving me behind.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Rated PG. Friday.
We are starting off the morning very wet here in the Northwest, especially in the Portland metro area. However, areas surrounding the city aren't so bad. They're dry, but definitely cloudy. Let's take a live look outside right now from the inn at Spanish Head, where we're just seeing cloudy skies at the moment. Not a whole lot of rain expected there, as the system is a bit of an unusual one. It's currently 52 in Portland. We've got 51 in Aurora, 52 in Troutdale, and 51 degrees in Scappoose. Unusual because the rain is coming from the east. We are going to continue to see moisture throughout much of the morning, but here in the Portland metro area and on the east side of the city, the east side of I-5, that's where we'll see the most moisture, but it should begin to dry out by this afternoon. Areas south and along the coast will probably stay dry for much of the day. We have a 50% chance of showers in eastern Oregon. We should keep most of the clouds, perhaps some sun breaks later on this afternoon. So your high for Portland today will be about 64 degrees, a chance of showers, but a gradual slow drying trend throughout the day. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, and your 5-day forecast and 10-day trend calling for a beautiful day tomorrow with lots of sun and 73 degrees. No major rain expected for the next 10 days. We'll have another local news update coming up in about 25 minutes. We hope to see you then.
He's your best friend, lovable and so adorable, and you hope to share a long, active life together. Here at Portland's oldest veterinary hospital, we understand. That's why we've invested in the best modern medical technology, and our personalized service guarantees that both you and your pet will enjoy coming to Rose City Veterinary Hospital, combining modern medicine with old-fashioned love. Rose City Veterinary Hospital at the east end of the Ross Island Bridge.
Did you hear about my accident? My car was a mess.
I'm driving on the highway. This car's coming up behind me. Just came in all hot. T-boned me.
I wasn't looking.
Airbag goes off. The whole back of my van is caved in. Fluids on the ground. Steam just popping all out of the engine. But it's a good thing our insurance company is Amica.
It's Amica. Amica's great.
At Amica, we built our business on customer referrals.
I mean, when I first got the policy, they totally helped me pick out the right coverage.
Saved a bunch of money in the end. Does your insurance company do that? You should call Amica. Call Amica today and you'll see how.
And when it came time to pay the claim,
Like that, without a hassle.
they paid it. And it was like they were happy to give me the money.
Does your insurance company do that? We also have one of the highest retention rates in the industry.
I've had Amica for years.
5 years. 25 years. Never a hassle. You don't have Amica? Find out what everyone's talking about. Switch to the insurance company that understands it's not just how you're covered. I just pick up the phone and call. It's how you're treated. You gotta get Amica. Get Amica, bro. Call Amica. Call Amica today for a free, no-obligation quote.
Good morning, Oregon. Yep, it's Monday.
Again. You know, if you need that double tall to wake up in the morning, maybe what you really need is a new mattress from Sleep Country. You already know Sleep Country has the lowest prices, but did you know they have the Northwest's largest brand name selection? And now Tempur-Pedic, the pressure-relieving mattress you've been hearing about. Try it before you buy at a Sleep Country price.
Why buy a mattress anywhere else?
Well, I really like to watch the tag team of Rod Hill and Rhonda Shelby.
I think Rod and Ron are just about my favorites.
They're going to give us local coverage.
And I love the way they do the weather, and especially Rhonda's fishtails.
And I always come back to them because you can tell they really care. Rod Hill, actually, he makes weather entertaining.
What other news station actually has two meteorologists that focus on the weather for us? And in Portland, we all know how tricky the weather can be.
K2 News, every night at 5. The difference is local.
Can you see by the dawn's early light was the twilight? Sorry.
Well, that was stage one, and then she comes back, and boy, this is me.
This is all of us.
If you had a bad weekend, hey, think of her. I'm Diane Sawyer. Welcome back.
And I'm Charles Gibson. That was at a hockey game up in Quebec, an exhibition game between the U.S. and Canadian national teams. She had to sing the U.S. anthem. Had never done it before, and she's a very good sport about it. She went back to get the lyrics a couple of times, and then finally, when she was ready, a pratfall.
That's right, and she's going to be here live only on Good Morning America coming up in this half hour. And also in this half hour, the Finger in the Wendy's chili big story. It was a hoax, but this morning we got another real fast food nightmare. So put your fingers in your ears if you are eating and you don't want to hear this, because this one has been authenticated. A man found a piece of skin, human skin, in his Arby's sandwich. And we're going to give you some really important information about fast food and when you're eating out.
Also, still ahead, some new products and life-saving tips to protect your kids from stranger danger. This one we've talked about many times on this broadcast. So often, kids, they're warned, don't follow strangers, don't get into a car. But it's amazing when you see the video how easily kids can be lured into cars. Also, can sending kids to daycare actually protect them from disease? Some important medical information. And he's just 26, but he's already a legend. Well, John Legend is his name, and he's here to perform live from his platinum-selling album this morning.
But we want to begin in this half hour with that videotape that has everyone arguing. The tape of the 5-year-old girl who was handcuffed by police in St. Petersburg, Florida, after she refused to behave at school. And we'll start off with ABC's Steve Osunsami at Fairmount Park Elementary School, where the incident took place. Steve?
Diane, the parents of the child are so concerned with what took place here, they've already moved their daughter to another school.
You need to calm down. You need to do it now.
The image has stunned parents across the country. A 5-year-old child handcuffed at school for throwing a temper tantrum. The video was recorded by the girl's teacher and released by lawyers for her family. It starts in the girl's classroom with the assistant principal is trying to talk her through a tantrum.
It wasn't safe for the teacher and the children to be in here. They had to leave. Your behavior made it unsafe.
They're asking the girl to clean up the mess she's made. She agrees, briefly.
Start throwing your things in the garbage can because Mom's on her way.
But her mother can't come and take her home for at least another hour.
Is she still tearing it up?
The tape continues with the child in the assistant principal's office. She's tearing things down from the wall. The camera follows her up a table, and for the first time, the administrator picks her up and puts her down. The girl then starts swinging at the assistant principal.
No, ma'am. That is not safe. You don't have the right to hit me. Stop.
The family's attorney, John Trevina, told Good Morning America's Bill Weir the video shows where the school failed.
You would think that you would want to give the girl some distance, but here I see the educators seem to be following around, having a camera following around as well.
Don't look at mine.
The mother does not make it to school before the 2 police officers and 2 recruits handcuff the child and take her into custody. The child sat in the back of a police cruiser until the district attorney's office called and told authorities holding her that they don't make a practice of prosecuting kindergartners. Diane.
All right, Steve, thanks to you. I want to turn now to someone who's a true expert on all this, Dr. Harvey Karp, a pediatrician, child development expert at UCLA School of Medicine, also author of the book and DVD, The Happiest Toddler on the Block, and he joins us from LA this morning. Good to have you with us again, Dr. Karp. I want to go back to the videotape right away if I can. You have 4 adult policemen handcuffing a little girl who can't weigh more than 40 pounds here and terrifying her. Is there any circumstance under which a child should be handcuffed like this?
You know, I think that there was a real mistake being made in having the police pulled into this to begin with. It's not a police issue, and I think the police said that later on. If the police actually had to take the child out of the school forcibly, they do have to restrain the child in some way. Because you can imagine as you're walking to the squad car, she could pull away and run into the middle of the street. Well, whether they had to handcuff her or restrain her in some other way.
Dr. Karp, I mean, there are 4 adults who can surround her so she can't get out of the car. And there's something more bewildering. Take another look at this other part of the videotape. When the police come, she's sitting at a table. She's pretty quiet there. So
No. That's why I'm thinking that this, you know, you don't call police for these situations. The schools would have police all the time. You know, the administrators handle it until the parents come. So the mistake was made putting her in police custody to begin with.
All right, I want to run through some of the things the school, in fact, did, now that you mentioned the school teachers and administrators. First, the teachers. She's clearly having a tantrum. Here's a scene you didn't see earlier in which you can see her over at a corner, and she is twirling around, and she's extremely upset. But periodically, and we're going to show you another scene, she stops and she helps clean up the paper and the trash, and she's putting it in the trash basket. And then I want to go back now to this other scene that we saw where there are 2 teachers there with her, 2 adults there with her. And my question to you is this: when a child is having a tantrum like this, are you supposed to connect with them emotionally, or are they just putting too much pressure on her when they're standing on either side of her? And we'll get that scene up in just a minute. What do you think?
Well, I think that they're doing a pretty good job. You saw one teacher sitting down. She's kind of helping with putting it inside, or at least she can compliment the girl for doing it. You mentioned connecting emotionally, and I think that's a critical issue that could have been done more of in this case. In other words, when the child is upset, you show that you're their friend, and you say, you're mad, you don't even like this, you were so frustrated, you're not having a good time. But come on, let's put this away in the garbage can, and we're going to get this all cleaned up, and then we're going to have a good time.
A final
so
scene.
when you connect with them, then they're much more likely to go along with what you want, to cooperate.
Final scene, we do see the administrator in that scene putting her arms around her and holding her for a few minutes when her little fists are going there. Is that the correct thing for an administrator to do, or is there another way to stop that behavior?
No, I think that she did the right thing there. I mean, first she put her hands up and said, no, ma'am, and then when she had to, she restrained the child, because you can't allow a child to do something destructive or aggressive in that moment in time. So at that moment, she had to stop the hitting, and I think that that was appropriate. Or she had to take her down from the chair where it was safe, and that was appropriate.
All right, well, we thank you for joining us this morning, and as Steve Osunsami said earlier, she's transferred to another school, said to be doing well there. And of course, we wanted everybody, these administrators, to come on this morning, but they are not yet, and the police did say they're not going to prosecute. Thanks again, Dr. Karp.
Thank you, Diane.
And if you think the situation with the handcuffed 5-year-old girl was handled properly or not, please sure to let us know what you think by going to our website, gma.abcnews.com. Let's head off to the weather. Once again, Lee Goldberg from WABC TV here in New York is in for our Tony. Hey, Lee.
All right, Diane, good morning. Great crowd down here. Good morning, everybody. One thing you got to say about the Good Morning America crowd, the loyalty. I mean, Tony has a sick day. He's crossing. You can love us both, you know.
Hey, Tony, you snooze, you lose. We're here with the man this morning.
That's tough. My shelf life's going to be short, too. How about the weather? Clevelanders, you got to feel for them. I mean, 10.5 inches of snow. It's the biggest storm of the season out there. The heavy, wet snow this time of year, and that's going to bring down power lines. They had over a foot of snow parts of the eastern Great Lakes. That storm is departing. Good news. It's a wacky storm. It's actually going backwards. Cold this morning there across Flint and Cleveland. It's going to be going into the 40s and 50s, a little melting over the next couple of days. That's the weather across the nation. Here's what you can expect.
Good morning, everyone. We're starting off the day very wet. It will be a bit of a soggy commute, but then this afternoon, the showers will gradually dry out. Tonight, we'll see partly cloudy skies, and by tomorrow, plenty of sunshine. This afternoon, high temperatures will be in the mid-60s, tomorrow the 70s.
Thanks so much. Diane?
Okay, Lee, thanks. And coming up, as we said, put your fingers in your ears if you don't want to hear this at this moment. But how did a piece of skin get into a fast food sandwich? You're going to meet the man who got this unpleasant surprise at an Arby's restaurant. And we'll tell you more about what you can do.
All plugged up from a cold or allergies? Take your medicine and use Sudocare Nighttime Vapor Plug from the makers of Sudafed. It's a tiny waterless vaporizer releasing soothing menthol and eucalyptus vapors all night long. Plugged up? Take comfort in Sudocare Vapor Plugs. Have a good night. And a specially formulated kids vapor plug.
This tort is divine. Where'd you get it?
Should you tell them about Duncan Hines' signature desserts and how easy it is to make exquisite restaurant-style creations from a box? We didn't think so. Signature desserts. Try these decadent new flavors.
Morning, Tiger.
Hey, Tiger.
Is your cat part of the family? Then try new Meow Mix Indoor Formula, which has specially balanced nutrition for a healthy indoor cat. New Meow Mix Indoor Formula.
I saved just because we got the twins.
I'm State Farm Agent Stephen Bridges, and these are all true stories.
I added a home policy and saved huge on my car insurance.
We got discounts we never even knew existed.
I saved just because he got good grades.
State Farm saved new customers an average of $356 last year.
I got on statefarm.com at 3 a.m. Easy savings.
No more restaurants with drive-thrus.
Great service, great rates. That's why 40 million drivers trust State Farm. Call an agent now.
Like a good neighbor,
State Farm is there.
28 million adults get migraines. Nearly 14 million get 2 or more a month. Their lives are disrupted. If you're one of them, you don't have to be just a statistic. You can help prevent migraines before they happen, so you can get fewer of them. Ask your doctor about daily prescription medicines for migraine prevention. You've got a lot to look forward to. More days without migraines. For more information, call 1-888-4555 or visit formigraineprevention.com.
You're about to witness coffee history in the making. Meet Senseo, the marriage of European brewing technology and Europe's premier name in coffee. Together, they create a one-of-a-kind cup of coffee with a frothy coffee layer, which makes for a never-before-possible smooth sensation. Senseo, for the first time in history, coffee that feels as good as it tastes.
You'll still find real peppermint oil in Tom's anti-cavity toothpaste because you'll still find Tom at Tom's of Maine. Tom's of Maine. Naturally, it works. The calcium in Tom's Tartar Control whitening toothpaste leaves your mouth feeling fresh. And the fact that we don't test on animals leaves your conscience feeling clean. Tom's of Maine. Naturally, it works.
Coming up this week on Good Morning America, our Caught on Camera series, Gotcha. These people are supposedly too injured to work. But look what they were caught doing when they thought no one was looking. And also, Paris Hilton joins us live. Who knows what she'll say or where.
Kind of weird.
So we've all heard the story of the woman who said she found a finger in her Wendy's chili, and that story now appears to be a hoax. Indeed, the woman has been arrested. But another story has caught our eye, and before we get into it, it's important to note that Americans are going to eat some 70 billion meals in restaurants this year. So it's very unlikely that what happened to a man named David Scheiding will happen to you. He found a slice of human skin in his Arby's chicken sandwich. Mr. Scheiding and his attorney, Doug Mann, are joining us now, and Dr. David Katz is also here to tell us what you ought to watch for when you're in various restaurants. But good to have you all with us. Mr. Scheiding, I should mention, this happened, as I understand it, before the Wendy's hoax was even hatched, and it has been authenticated. You know where the skin came from, is that right?
That is correct.
So tell me what actually happened.
Well, I went out to eat, get something to eat. I went to an Arby's restaurant. I picked up a grilled chicken sandwich with lettuce and tomato, and I took it back to my place at work and sat down and was eating it, ate about half of it. Realized there was something in my mouth, and of course I spit it out, and I realized it was something that should have not been there. I first got sick, and then I called the health department, the police department, and my doctor.
There was actually a fingerprint on the skin, as I understand.
That is true.
And you've learned it came from where?
Arby's restaurant.
Well, it came from a specific individual who worked there, I understand.
That is correct. He was slicing some lettuce, and he sliced his finger. And this object ended up being in the lettuce the next day when they prepared my sandwich. And they put the lettuce on my sandwich, and that's how it got there.
Any health concerns because of this?
Well, at first there was HIV, and hepatitis was done for 6 months, and they, at different times, 2 different times, took blood work. Now it's just psychological problems. Can't eat out, you know, and when I do, I go through my food.
And look at it very carefully, I would suspect. Mr. Mann, let me turn to you. You're suing not Arby's, I understand, but the franchisee, the company that actually owned that specific restaurant. And yes, there's certainly a yuck factor in this, but any harm really done?
I agree.
Well, why sue?
Oh, there's... because, first of all, we did everything possible to settle this case out of court. Mr. Scheiding didn't want to get in the papers, didn't want to be on TV. This is a case where he went through quite a lot, not just with the initial act, but the emotional trauma. We did everything with the insurance company for the franchise to resolve it out of court. They saw it as a nuisance value, and we did not, so that's why we filed suit.
Okay. David Katz, let me turn to you because, as I mentioned at the beginning, there's 70 million restaurant meals a year, which is a lot. And so there's a greater chance, it seems to me, of getting hit by lightning probably twice than there is of this happening to you. But do you need to be watchful for this kind of thing?
Well, as you say, Charlie, the risk of this kind of exposure is very low. Frankly, I'm much more concerned about risk of exposure to the food that's being served in fast food restaurants. It's more likely to hurt you because of its nutritional content than because it contains hidden body parts.
But generally, when you're in a restaurant, are there things you should look for that would indicate that perhaps this is not the most desirable place to be eating?
Absolutely, Charlie, and I think it's all common sense stuff. You want to look for good level of hygiene, cleanliness, looks like a place that's efficiently run and well maintained, and that's a pretty good indication that you'll avoid these kinds of problems. Also nice to see that people who are actually touching the food have gloves on, and that indicates also careful attention to hygienic practices that'll keep your food safe.
So generally be careful that the place looks clean overall.
That's right. It looks shabby. You may want to eat somewhere else.
Yeah. All right. Thanks very much. And David Scheiding, I appreciate you and Doug Mann being with us. I should mention Arby's has put out a statement about all this, as you might expect. Arby's saying we're committed to providing our guests with quality food and safe environment. This was an unfortunate and extraordinarily rare incident. Occurred in June 2004. We apologize for any hardship this may have posed for Mr. Scheiding. That came from the president and CEO of Arby's, but the suit goes on. Appreciate it. When we come back, Oh Say Can You Sing? We'll meet the young woman who's become, well, she's become something of an overnight sensation, all because she forgot the words. When Good Morning America continues.
Dell has great deals on your complete PC waiting for you now. Get this Dimension desktop with an Intel Celeron processor for the amazingly low price of $299 after a $75 instant savings. So go online now. Plus, get a free printer. Dell notebooks start at just $599. It's only a click or call away. Get more out of now. Dell PCs use Intel Celeron processors.
Hello, my darling. Your last blossom beckons. I am so congested. If only my medicine could treat and help prevent these seasonal nasal allergy symptoms.
Only Nasonex is clinically proven to both treat and help prevent most seasonal nasal allergy symptoms, including congestion. Only Nasonex. Side effects were generally mild and included headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing.
I have returned my flower, a changed bee.
To treat and help prevent most seasonal nasal allergy symptoms, Nasonex is the one. Talk to your doctor.
Peekaboo. Peekaboo. Whoa.
A Mother's Day gift from Kay Jewelers means every diamond is hand-selected to match beautifully.
Peekaboo.
Every kiss begins with K.
Alert.
Sir, we got a level
2 cases of diarrhea. Remember the Imodium? The new liquid gem. It works often in just 1 dose.
Soothing Imodium liquid transfer in progress. Calming taking effect. Normal function resumed.
Enjoy your day, Jim.
New Imodium liquid. Make peace with your body.
I got back into my favorite jeans.
I had a really good hair day.
I asked my doctor about Botox Cosmetic.
Talk to your doctor or find one at BotoxCosmetic.com. The one, the only Botox Cosmetic.
Are you ready?
At TNC Chevrolet, it's the spring sales drive. With MVP pricing, Tahoes and Suburbans are $12,500 off MSRP. Service your Chevy with us and get the added value of free lifetime tires. With hundreds of Chevys to choose, MVP pricing plus lifetime tires, you'll see the savings. It's an American revolution. Only at TNC Chevrolet in Milwaukee. We are Town and Country Chevrolet. Drive home happy.
Most of us think of closed captioning as a valuable service for the deaf and hard of hearing, when actually we all benefit. For folks learning to read, new residents learning English, and in noisy places like health clubs. Closed captioning helps everyone.
All televisions now come equipped with closed captioning technology. We thank Pacific Power for their support that allows K2 to offer real-time closed captioning on many local programs. K2 and you, the spirit of the Northwest.
Around the water cooler this morning, a lot of people kidding Canadian singer Caroline Marcille after she flubbed the words.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, we saw it. This was
Star-Spangled
painful
Banner.
to watch, we know, but we'll roll it again. There she was at the hockey game, right? And she starts trying to sing, and then, well, 61% of Americans can't make it through. Why should she? She leaves the rink, and then she comes back again. Well, she flubs once, flubs twice, and then comes back again, as we know, falls and slides.
But you did the only thing you did the only thing you could, which is to say, "Oops, sorry," and left.
Yeah, I wanted to do it and to show that I was able to do it. So I go and get my words and I'm gonna do this song. Oh my God! I have to. So
Whoever put that rug there that you fell on
was supposed to help.
Honestly,
you know, on the ice was supposed to help.
Yeah, it was supposed to help, but it didn't stick.
No, it didn't stick.
Well, you came on Good Morning America weekend and sang perfectly the whole Star Spangled Banner. Let's hear it for Caroline Marcille. Play ball! The Star Spangled Banner.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. You're a good sport about it all. Very good sport.
Thank you.
Great success to you in the future. We'll be back.
Thank you.
And still ahead on Good Morning America, our special series, Stranger Danger, new ways to protect your children from predators. And you'll be surprised when you see what the cameras catch. And Health Alert, can putting children in daycare prevent cancer? Important medical information for parents coming up.
No?
To help maintain a healthy heart, your body needs potassium, like you find in salmon. And almonds. As well as lima beans. But you wouldn't drink this stuff every morning when you could drink Florida orange juice.
With lots of potassium that's good for your heart. Florida orange juice. Healthy, pure and simple.
Life is a work of art. Unless you have allergy eyes. Itchy, red, watery. You may need an allergy eye drop. Patanol. Patanol solution treats all your eye allergy symptoms. Just 1 drop in each eye twice a day. In minutes, you start to feel relief. There's a low incidence of headache, burning, or stinging. Wait 10 minutes before putting in contact lenses. Ask your doctor about adding a drop. Patanol. Relief is in sight.
Hedge trimmer, $50. Having a perfect backyard priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For backyard beauty, there's MasterCard.
Who's up for Outback? Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
I'm having work done. And I'm
I'm so excited.
Let Olay Regenerist do the work. It continuously renews skin's appearance at the cellular level for lasting results. Olay Regenerist.
Work done.
Would it kill you to change the role?
Oh, hey, look, I just booked our Vegas trip on Expedia.
Create your next trip on Expedia with extra savings when you book your flight and hotel together and the most travel options anywhere.
Expedia.com.
Another perfect day. If only there was something a little different to brighten it up. Like this.
Introducing new Philly Swirls, triple berries and cream. Rich, creamy Philadelphia and the delicious taste of berries swirled together. Still 25% less saturated fat than butter.
Now this is heaven.
Philly Swirls, a new spin on a little taste of heaven.
Did you hear about my accident?
I'm driving on the highway.
I wasn't looking.
Airbag goes off. Steam just popping all out of the engine.
Good thing our insurance company is Amica.
Amica's great.
At Amica, we built our business on customer referrals.
They'd help me pick out the right coverage. And when it came time to pay the claim,
Like that.
and it was like they were happy to give me the money.
Does your insurance company do that?
Find out what everyone's talking about. Switch to the insurance company that understands it's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated.
You gotta get Amica. Call Amica.
Call Amica today for a free, no-obligation quote.
Good Morning America is brought to you by Expedia, where you can make your ideal trip a reality.
One show truly rebuilds families' lives.
This is a dream.
All new tonight. See how we go one step further and give an entire neighborhood a makeover.
We're doing another house down that way, another house over here.
A new How'd They Do That? Tonight at 8, 7 Central, only on ABC.
My ex-girlfriend is crazy.
A custody battle
You can't just keep treating me like this.
becomes a war
She's kidnapped my son.
that ends with a shocking twist.
I swear to you, I won't tell a soul.
All new Blind Justice, Tuesday, 10, 9 Central, only on ABC.
Today on AM Northwest.
Treat your mom like a queen with our fabulous spa gift ideas for Mother's Day. Plus, meet the founder of Jazzercise and find out why exercise is a family affair.
Watch today at 9.
I'm not a zillionaire. Won't ever be a millionaire. And I have to admit, sometimes I run a little short on cash in between pay periods. Does that make me a bad person? No, it makes me human. We've all been there. Because stuff happens in life, and sometimes that stuff costs a little more than we happen to have at the moment. When I'm feeling that squeeze, the only place I'll go is Advance America Cash Advance. I don't go to my folks or my friends. I figure it's up to me to handle it. I walk into an Advance America, and there's never any attitude, never any, hey, you're lucky we're here kind of stuff. Not like my bank, who charges me through the roof for a bounce check and won't even give me a payday advance. Advance America's got over 2,400 locations, and just so I know it's not only me, they've helped millions of other people too. And with the facts and fees right on the website, they've answered all my questions. Look, good people run short sometimes, and it's nice to know there are good people at Advance America to help out, with money I can really count on.
Mark, what did I tell you about skateboarding in the house? Ah, report card.
This moment brought to you by Sylvan Learning Center. We identify your child's unique needs, followed by individual attention, with flexible hours and progress reports.
His teacher recommended Sylvan, and what a difference.
12 area locations now serving you. Call 1-866-2-SYLVAN today.
K2 News, the difference is local.
Good morning. This is K2 News, the spirit of the Northwest.
Good morning, everyone. It's 7:58, and I'm Julia Radlick. Here's what's making local news. This weekend in Forest Grove, a local soldier is recognized for what he's given up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Specialist Braddock and his mother, Retta, will now come forward to be awarded the Purple Heart by Brigadier General Raymond C. Byrne.
Specialist Matt Braddock of Vancouver received the Purple Heart yesterday at the Forest Grove Armory. Specialist Braddock lost part of his left leg and nearly lost his right foot when his Humvee hit a roadside bomb in Iraq.
I didn't expect 200-plus people showing up. I expected maybe 5 people in the back room saying, here's your Purple Heart, take a few pictures, shake a few hands, and be on my way. So this is kind of amazing to me.
This is a photo of what was left of the Humvee following the explosion. Braddock says once he heals up, he hopes to continue as an Army mechanic. Time now to check on the commute. Here's Brian McCoy. Hi, Brian.
Hello there. Well, so far on 205 southbound, it's slow trip right out of Vancouver. Starts at Mill Plain Boulevard past Airport Way. Now, farther south, you're going to find some slowing from Gladstone as you head into West Lynn. The trip up north on I-5 is also slow just before Norwood towards Lake Oswego, with more slowing from Haines. You head up through the Terwilliger curves. And on the west side of town, inbound is slow on the Sunset, 185th past Cedar Hills, with more slowing at the top of the hill down towards 405. For Town & Country Auto Dealerships and the Keeps Traffic team, Brian McCoy, K2 News.
Thanks, Brian. It is a wet commute this morning with plenty of moisture around the area. The storm coming from the east, which is a bit unusual. It will be wet here in Portland for much of the morning, but then we should dry out by the afternoon. Most of the area will stay cloudy for the day, but perhaps a few sun breaks this afternoon. 64 degrees for a high today. Things dry out tonight. Your 5-day forecast and 10-day trend is showing a nice day tomorrow with 73 degrees.
From the crossroads of the United States, this is Good Morning America with Charles Gibson and Diane Sawyer.
Well, that's us.
That is us, and we're jumping up and down out here because it's cold. I can't believe
I'll tell you, it is chilly
here.
in New York. There's a lady here from Minnesota who said it's cold here. Now, if somebody from Minnesota comes and says it's cold, you know it's cold.
But we welcome you back on this Monday. I'm Diane Sawyer. Another week, chance to begin again.
Yes, and maybe spring will show up, although that snowstorm going through the Midwest is weird weather. And it's late April, isn't it? Tell me it's late April. Spring is coming. We can play golf soon, I hope. Anyway, in this half hour, we're going to bring you a story of a 911 call of a man who was locked in a trunk and called police.
What's your name? We want that. My name is David Steve. Please find me. Oh, my God. Please help me. Please help me. Oh, my God. Please help me.
And police thought this was a hoax, so we'll tell you the story.
Terrifying story. And also in this half hour, you know, we've seen before the things you teach your kids about stranger danger and kidnapping and wandering off. We got some new videotape that's going to make you think through, and some new advice that is really a way to prevent things that you may not have thought about before, and we've got that coming up.
We've talked about this before on this program, but you can't talk about it enough because kids are warned, and they say, yes, they understand, and then you can get them in a car, no sweat. And we'll show you. You can't talk about this enough. We'll show you that. Also, a new study that comes out of Britain that indicates that putting your children in daycare actually may help prevent disease in those kids.
Certain kinds of diseases, yeah.
So we'll get to all that, but first we're going to go to the news desk and Robin Roberts.
Charlie and Diane, thank you. Good morning again, everyone. A scene of horror this morning in western Japan. At least 50 people were killed when a commuter train jumped the tracks and plowed into an apartment building. Police are investigating whether driver inexperience or high speed may have contributed to the accident. The engineer reportedly overshot the stop line at the last station just before the crash. Well, just when you thought it was safe to stow away the snow shovel, Old Man Winter is making an unwanted spring visit. Much of the Midwest is digging out from a rare storm that dumped more than a foot of snow in some spots. And it wasn't just the snow in some places. Temperatures plunged as much as 25 degrees below the normal of about 60 degrees. And as you saw from Charlie and Diane, a little chilly here in New York this morning. Pope Benedict told German pilgrims this morning that he prayed that God would not pick him as Pope. He then added, evidently, God did not listen this time. Pope Benedict also met with leaders of other religious faiths, including members of the Muslim community. Religious leaders are joining the fray over President Bush's judicial nominations. In a rally broadcast to churches nationwide, evangelical Christian leaders rallied followers to denounce Democratic efforts to block 10 federal judges by filibuster. Now, some liberal religious leaders have denounced this campaign. Sentencing begins today for Army Sergeant Hassan Akbar. He was convicted for killing 2 Army officers and wounding more than a dozen others in a March 2003 grenade attack in Kuwait. Akbar could be sentenced to death or life in prison. And police in suburban Chicago are investigating a 911 call for help from a college student who was later found shot to death. As ABC's David Muir reports, police thought the call was a prank.
For 19-year-old David Steves, it was a cry for help, a desperate call to 911 from the trunk of his own car after being robbed.
I'm in a Toyota Corolla. I'm in a green Toyota Corolla, okay? I just got robbed right now. I just my car. I'm in a green Toyota Corolla on South Street. I'm not exactly. I'm in a trunk. I'm going
What's your name?
We're going fast. My name is David Stevens. Please find me. Oh my God, please help me. Please help me. Oh my God, please help me.
How do you spell your last name?
Steeves.
But help never arrived. His car was found a week later, his body in the trunk. He'd been shot to death. His frustrated family now believes the police may be to blame. Phone records show the police believe the call could be a prank and couldn't understand Steve's name even after he spelled it out for them.
He won't give his name the way we can understand what he's saying. All he says is he's moving fast and driving South Street in the trunk of a green Toyota Corolla, and then he hangs up. Call taker thinks it could be a prank, but isn't definite on it.
The Elgin, Illinois Police Department says they are investigating the case and that upon completion of the investigation, the department will make a statement. They also say David Steeves was killed by these men, Robert Guyton and Armand Henderson, after an apparent drug deal. They say the suspects killed Steeves for the $300 in his pocket. For Good Morning America, David Muir, ABC News.
Did Martha Stewart break the rules of her house arrest? Stewart was seen at a Time magazine party where she was honored as one of its most influential 100 people. Now the federal government is investigating. Under the terms of her house arrest, she's only supposed to leave home for business reasons. The Interpreter is having no trouble making itself understood at the box office. The United Nations thriller earned an estimated $22.8 million in its debut, rounding out the top three, the Amityville Horror, followed by Sahara. And that is the latest news at 8:05. The latest weather, our friend Lee Goldberg from our WABC affiliate is in for Tony Perkins.
All right, Robin, all I know is 3.5 weeks to Star Wars. Can't wait for that. Cold morning here in New York City in Times Square. Bob, his lovely wife, Elaine here from Portland, Oregon. Bob, you're good from the waist up here. The question is, the kill? I mean, we're 32-degree wind chill here. What's going on?
Why not? We've got to be different, don't we?
All right, you make the rules, but I'm glad you're comfortable. We will stop the wardrobe questions there. Don't want to get too cute. All right, let's go to our weather maps and see what's going on outside. First of all, situation across the south is we are shifting now to violent storms, which will be across Tulsa, down to Dallas and Houston. That threat will extend into western Louisiana later in today, and then tomorrow it'll go into the central Gulf states. The outlook for the rest of the nation, pretty nice down in the southeast, although freeze warnings in the morning. Still some rain and snow showers over the Great Lakes, but those will be pushing back into Canada. Some snow over the Colorado Rockies and a few showers in the Pacific Northwest. That is the weather across the nation. Now here's what you can expect.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Julia Radlick. We are seeing a lot of moisture come in from the east, which is kind of unusual, but it is getting the Portland metro area wet this morning. Your commute a bit soggy. However, the moisture will begin to leave here in the next couple of hours, and we should see a dry afternoon, but it'll definitely be cloudy, perhaps some sun breaks later today. 64 for a high with possible showers tonight. We dry out, and your 5-day forecast and 10-day trend is showing a beautiful day tomorrow with plenty of sunshine, 73 degrees. As a matter of fact, we're not looking at much rain for the next 10 days.
And thank you very much. One more look at weather in our next half hour. Charlie.
All right, thanks, Lee. Well, this morning, we're going to start a series which we're calling Stranger Danger, and there's so many stories right now about missing and abducted children in the headlines. So we wanted to revisit an issue that we've talked a lot about on this program, and that is information that you need to help protect your kids from predators. No matter how often you warn kids, don't get in cars with strangers, don't follow strangers, be wary of strangers. Kids still will do it, and you're going to see some dramatic proof of that in just a moment because Chris Cuomo is here.
You're absolutely right, Charlie. We all try to teach the kids, don't talk to strangers, run away. But you know, at the end of the day, telling a child and showing them are two very different things. What you're about to see isn't just a report, it is also a tool for parents. This man is trying to lure children out of a playground. His tactic? He says he's lost his dog.
Here, Patrick, my little puppy. Name is Shorty.
All of these children have been told to avoid strangers, but it only takes him a few seconds to win them over.
Shorty!
Thankfully, this predator is actually a child safety expert trained to test children and teach parents.
Why didn't you run away?
Because he wanted me to find Shorty.
Now, these are very young children. Would such tricks work in a few years? Let's put older kids to the test. No one seems to notice this stranger lurking in an Oklahoma suburb. He's actually waiting for these two young teenagers.
You can't go. Are you walking down that way? Yeah. Give us a minute. Stand over here. I'm a police officer. We're making an arrest right in front of that van over there. Come over here.
Without question, they do exactly as he says.
And the police dog is out. So here's what I want you to do. Stand right here. If you see this dog, it's a German Shepherd, come running up the street. Jump in this car real quick.
He now has them where he wants them, right next to the trap, his car.
Open up, jump in, real quick, just sit in the driver's seat, that's all you got to do. Fast, inside, scoot over, real fast.
I can't believe she got the car.
Just down the street in a van, this mother watches in shock as her 14-year-old daughter falls for one of the oldest tricks in the book. In less than a minute, she's in the stranger's car.
I can't believe it.
But in this case, too, the stranger is a safety specialist, child advocate Bob Stuber.
Caitlin, actually, there's not really a police incident, and your mom's right up here in this van. This is for ABC News.
Mom's wondering why Caitlin didn't run or ask to see a badge.
That's not funny.
No, it's not.
Try to be as honest as you can. What did you really think?
I seriously didn't think you were caught.
Okay, that's good. But why did you go with me? This is important.
I don't know.
Now, what if Bob is already in his car? The parents of 11-year-old Blake put their son to the test. Watch what happens when he goes outside to get the mail. And take note, Blake is literally steps from his own house.
Will you stick that there for me? I can't get out. Just put it in the mailbox.
Then Bob deliberately drops the letter.
Here, grab that for me, the letter.
Blake is now halfway into the car.
Give me a handshake. No, shake my hand. Thank you very much. What's your name?
Look again. With a stronger tug, Bob could have kidnapped Blake and been gone without a trace. What were you thinking when you saw your son go into the car?
I was very concerned when he leaned in.
The same thing happens to Blake's 10-year-old friend, Josh. Within seconds, he goes from helping Bob with directions to putting himself in a position where he could have been shoved into the back seat.
You go to that first light.
We showed the tape to Josh and his parents.
Okay, wonderful. Would you grab that bag for me, please, real quick? The only reason I'm asking is because I got a bad back. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's what I shouldn't have done.
Look how far in you went. Kaboom. Ooh, that was
I shouldn't have done that. You could have pushed me in.
And the interesting thing is he's emulating real-life situations, cases that actually happened.
This is the real deal. It's not like he just comes up with the trickiest scenario he can find, and that's what makes it so difficult to look at as a parent.
Yeah. Now, we talked about what parents might be able to do, and you have an interesting product here.
Yes, this is new. It's called the Wearaphone, okay? You can receive calls on this. You can't place calls, although it does have a two-way speaker mechanism. Now, what does it do? Each of these buttons can be pre-programmed for help, and it has a 911 safety call. It's very small, as you can see, even in my big hand, so a kid could carry it easily. If they are in trouble, they push the button, it goes right to mom, right to dad, right to 911.
And you can track this thing also with GPS.
Yes,
so you can figure out where the child is.
It will be available June 1st. You pay for the device and you pay for a fee just like a cell phone.
Yeah, but it's not cheap.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap. About $20 a month, about $150, $200 for the device, but we're paying that for cell phones, and this is our kids, you know.
Right. You keep it in the pocket and just press a button and you know the kid's in trouble.
That's right.
Okay. All right, Chris Cuomo, thanks very much. We're going to continue this series tomorrow and Wednesday, and you can find out more about these new products on our website, gma.abcnews.com. When we come back, a new program to keep kids off drugs. Its methods may surprise you, but the numbers prove that it might work. That one, Good Morning America, continues.
I didn't know what the first step was to take.
It was my first time buying a home.
There were stacks and stacks of paperwork.
I was looking for something easy to get into.
I want a big backyard so I can play with all my friends.
When it's your first house, you don't know what the process is like.
And the first thing we did was call a realtor.
How do you know when you're working with a realtor? Look for the Realtor R.
Buying a home for the first time? Let someone with experience and knowledge guide you. Ask your agent if they're a realtor, a member of the National Association of Realtors.
I'm the landlord, the gardener, and the handyman.
All of us have internal plumbing. But for some of us with frequent urges, our pipes just don't work as well as they should. Sometimes you worry you could spring an embarrassing leak. So why deal with it on your own when there's something more you can do? Treat it once daily with Vesicare. New Vesicare can reduce urges and may even help relieve bladder leakage. If you have certain types of stomach, urinary, or glaucoma problems, do not take Vesicare. While taking Vesicare, if you experience a serious allergic reaction, severe abdominal pain, or become constipated for 3 or more days, tell your doctor right away. Common side effects are dry mouth, constipation, blurred vision, and indigestion. So why wait? Ask your doctor today if Vesicare is right for you. Fewer urges and leaks. With new Vesicare, it's not just a pipe dream.
The car you've been dreaming of is the car we've been dreaming up. The all-new Buick LaCrosse, the world's first quiet-tuned sedan.
You have radiant skin. You just haven't discovered it yet.
Try Aveeno Positively Radiant Cleansing Pads, a breakthrough in facial cleansers. One side gently exfoliates while the other, with conditioning soy, cleanses and softens skin, leaving you feeling truly clean, smooth, and naturally radiant. Positively Radiant Cleansing Pads. After cleansing, try Positively Radiant Moisturizer, proven to even tone. Only from Aveeno, the leader in active naturals.
Discover how radiant your skin can be.
Riding along in my automobile, got no time to make a meal. Picked up my phone, called Applebee's. They bring my order right out to me. On my way before you know, it's Applebee's car side to go.
You call it in, we bring it out with Applebee's new car side to go. It's not fast food, it's Applebee's Food Fast.
His old allergy medicine left him in a fog. Now, he's Claritin Clear. Claritin relieves his sneezing and itchy eyes without making him drowsy or jittery. With Claritin, he's in the game, not in the fog. Discover Claritin for children and let your kids live Claritin Clear.
How does it feel to be up with the sun? To know you're the one, yeah, you're good to go. How does it feel to be in the know? Now you're good to go. Say good morning to America.
And now we're going to tell you about a program to keep kids off drugs that actually works. Imagine that you have a town that has a real problem. Imagine the local merchants decide to give free goods to drug-free kids. Imagine those drug-free kids become the heroes of the elementary school ones, and you've imagined an Inspire program in Cody, Wyoming, a small town that turned lives around, and we think it's only in America.
The Change Attitudes Now program, better known as CAN, was started at a time when their high school was in crisis. 8 out of 10 seniors admitted they had tried illegal drugs.
The whole Just Say No program really doesn't work. Nobody likes to say no. They want to say yes to something. And CAN is something to say yes to. It's a healthy alternative.
What students say yes to is a contract, one they have to sign pledging they won't use, sell, or possess drugs. In return, 4th through 12th graders gain access to high-speed computers, win prizes, and receive discounts from over 50 businesses around town. The most important benefit, the program inspires younger kids to stay drug-free.
At the elementary school, those kids haven't even been exposed to the opportunity of doing drugs yet. So you're showing them every day through CAN that when you make positive choices, there are rewards.
There are also penalties. Any CAN member suspected of drug use will be tested or risk being asked to leave the program. But that hasn't stopped the 1,300 out of 1,700 students from enrolling in CAN. And the results? Phenomenal. The program has helped cut drug use among Cody High School students from 27% in 1997 to 7% in 2004.
It gives you something else to do after school. Instead of like going in with friends and maybe like smoking a joint, you can go to the computer and play a game or interact with people in the room and have like more of a social life.
Joining us now are three people who are going to bring us up to date on the program, tell us whether it's still working, what are the returns coming in, and they are sponsor and teacher. Deb White is with us, and also two current members of CAN, Kenzie Nielsen and Austin Jackson, and welcome to all three of you. Now, you've introduced something new, which is the trading cards. This is new since we last saw you. How does that work?
Basically, to be on a trading card, a student has to be either a high school junior or senior. We've had a few sophomores, but a high school junior or senior, CAN member, and they have to sign an additional alcohol-free pledge. And then they get to act as a role model and be on a trading card for the elementary kids. And they go say, you know, I made the choice to be drug-free and alcohol-free, and because of those choices, I'm where I am now, and what are your goals, and how are you going to get there? So it's just all real positive.
What is it about CAN that in middle school would entice you to join up, though? What kind of things do you like the best that it gives you?
The free stuff.
Which, the computers?
The computers, internet access, and games and stuff. And then there's businesses around town where you get like free popcorn at the movies or free admission into the museum or something like that. And all you have to do is show your CAN card and you get those discounts.
And how many of your friends have joined up?
Almost every single one of them.
So is it a big deal to a young kid when the football hero comes in and says, I'm not doing it, don't you either?
Oh, that's a really big deal, because every little kid knows every single one of those high school kids from these trading cards. And so when they go into an assembly or whatever, the little kids just start cheering and clapping, and if they...
So it works for everybody.
Yeah.
And are the high school kids embarrassed if they fall off the program and the little kids know about it?
Yeah, definitely. It's a extremely big letdown for the high schooler kids to see how much the little kids idol them, and then to let them down is devastating for both parties.
How many have you had to test, and how many have you found out and removed from the program?
You know, and it's totally confidential if we have to test somebody and remove them from the program. But I would say, I think probably a dozen in the last 4 or 5 years. And I think that it's just been really a complete paradigm shift. I've been teaching in Cody for 16 years, and in most high schools that I know of, the cool kids use maybe a little marijuana, drink some beer on the weekends, and the good kids just kind of keep their heads down because it's not really all that neat to brag about being good. And in Cody, that's completely different. The coolest kids are standing out there going, I'm drug-free, I'm alcohol-free, and you can be too.
And our thanks to Deb and the kids, and also Ann Plachette Murphy for that report. More ahead.
Good Morning America's Only in America. Brought to you by Walmart. Always low prices. Always.
I have a lot to do in a day's time. I have a son who is 3. I am cleaning up after him constantly. I do a ton of laundry. I hate laundry. Walmart Supercenter simplifies my life. I can get my car serviced. I can drop off my prescription, get my digital photos processed, and while everything's being done, I can go shopping. My favorite thing to do, I go pick up everything and I'm out of there. I love being busy. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Our new breakfasts have so much flavor in every bite, a plate wouldn't hold it. Introducing Complete Bowl Breakfasts. Denny's Meat Lovers Bowl, the Ham and Mushroom Bowl, and the Country Sausage Bowl. Plus pancakes, bacon, and sausage for just $5.99. Denny's, we're cooking now.
Later this year, we're launching the first of several new satellites that together will deliver over 1,500 high-definition channels across the country. It's part of DirecTV's commitment to the best TV experience. Your TV's ready. Are you?
Inside all of us is a body in motion, just waiting to move. Propel Fitness Water from Gatorade, made for bodies in motion.
Night. It's when most of the world sleeps. A time to reset our clock so we can begin a new day. It's all part of the rhythm of life. But for many, this healthy cycle is disrupted because sleep doesn't always come easy. Fortunately, there's Ambien. Ambien is a prescription sleep aid that can help you get a full night's sleep. While natural sleep is best, Ambien helps you fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and wake rested and refreshed, not groggy the next morning. No wonder Ambien is the #1 prescribed sleep aid in America. Until you know how Ambien will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Side effects may include drowsiness, dizziness, and diarrhea. You shouldn't take it with alcohol. All people taking sleep medicines have some risk of becoming dependent on the medicine. Prescription sleep aids are most often taken for 7 to 10 days as needed. Your doctor will advise you about taking them longer. In most instances, memory problems can be avoided if you take Ambien only when you're able to get 7 to 8 hours sleep before you need to be active again. Talk to your doctor about Ambien and wake rested and ready to start your day. Ambien works like a dream.
Look what we got. Our hands on now. Look who we've got. Our hands on now.
Now, K2 News, brought to you by Amica Insurance.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Julia Radlick. Here's what's making local news. A series of arsons in Albany appear to be the work of one man as police arrest the person they think started 6 fires. This charred home still smolders hours after fires ripped through it. The house, a boat, motorhome, tractor, and barn were all destroyed. Luckily, the owners were out of town. Police believe the arsonist had plenty of practice before reaching this home. Just hours before, someone set fire to a trailer, a couple of cars, and another home.
It's real unusual to see house fires like this that are totally burnt to the ground.
This kind of stuff just doesn't happen out here, really. I mean, we're kind of out in the farm area, and you just feel pretty safe.
Nearly 5 hours after the fire spree began, a deputy spotted a vehicle leaving a bus fire on Grand Prairie Road. Police took 38-year-old Gary McDonald of Albany into custody. He's charged with 2 counts of attempted arson, and more charges are expected to follow. The cuts are coming. Tonight, the Portland School Board will vote to approve next year's school budget. Over the past few weeks, the board held public meetings to get input from parents and citizens on the proposed cuts. Under consideration is a plan to cut 261 full-time school staff positions and increase fees for participating in sports. The district is also considering proposals to cut high school golf, tennis, and dance team programs. The school board meeting begins at 6:30 tonight. The vote on next year's budget is scheduled for around 7:40. A plan to deepen the Columbia River shipping channel has hit another snag. The Army Corps of Engineers estimated it would cost a little more than $18 million to deepen the first section of the river by 3 feet. The lowest bid for the work came in at more than $30 million. The project managers may now seek additional bids. Your forecast for the afternoon, it's going to dry out, but it's going to be a slow drying trend. In the meantime, it is a very wet commute this morning. Soggy roadways. Let's take a look outside from the Hood River Inn, where it is gray skies at the moment. Another live look, this time from the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha, where they have seen some moisture. However, the southern Willamette Valley and the coast have stayed fairly dry. This morning here in Portland and the metro area, we will see showers throughout much of the morning, and then this afternoon we gradually dry out with just a chance of rain and perhaps some sun breaks here and there. On the latest radar picture, you can see the moisture coming in from the east, which is a bit unusual. However, cloud cover is all over the area at this time. We really won't start clearing out until tomorrow. So your high for the day, 64 degrees here in Portland. Possible showers this afternoon with some sun breaks, then gradual drying. Tonight, we dry out completely. By tomorrow, we should be in the low 70s with plenty of sunshine and no real rain expected for the rest of the week. We'll have more news at midday at 11 a.m. We hope to see you then. In the meantime, have a great day.
Hey, Jenny, guess what, girl? I only have 1 chin now. I've lost 30 pounds. pounds. Holla! Oh, and I'm in love. No, with my personal consultant. Yeah, hold up a second. If you join Jenny Craig, you get one too. They'll design a plan just for you. Your life, that's why it works.
Lose 20 pounds for $20, plus the cost of food. Call 1-800-JENNY20 now.
Oh, and when you go into Weigh, you want to kiss your consultant? You can. I do. I like it. Have you called Jenny yet?
This is K2, the spirit of the Northwest. If you're in one of these locations, you may be able to receive a clearer signal by tuning to one of these UHF channels.
This week on Millionaire.
I'm going to go with D, predict the future. Final answer.
These contestants are destined to play the game.
And even you had a premonition about being on Millionaire.
And they're trying to fulfill all their predictions.
I came here with nothing, so I'm going to take a chance.
Look at you go. You got it.
But will correct answers and big money be in their future?
I have a really good feeling about you.
Find out.
You want to make that your final answer?
This week on Millionaire.
Today at 4:30 on K2, the spirit of the Northwest.
In all kinds of weather, K2 News has 2 meteorologists working on the forecast.
And Ron, interesting on that radar you just showed everybody.
K2's Rhonda Shelby and Rod Hill, 2 meteorologists, one reason, weather where you live. K2 News, the difference is local.
Is too much ever enough? Too much fun? Too much excitement? Too much money? We don't think so. Too much will never be enough. That's why you can watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire back-to-back at 4. Yeah! Because Too Much Millionaire is never enough.
We're going to compose ourselves for a moment. Ah!
Are you ready to play? Catch a full hour of Millionaire weekdays at 4 only on K2, the spirit of the Northwest.
All local news, weeknights at 6:30 on K2.
Know that I love you. There's no one above you.
Yes, his friends named him Johnny Legend, you know, because he can do anything, this kid, and he is one of the hottest new stars on the music scene. His first album sold 500,000 copies in 1 week, and you're going to get a chance to hear why coming up in this half hour. Good Morning America again. I'm Diane Sawyer. It's April 25th.
And I'm sorry, and I'm her sidekick, Charles Gibson. It's welcome back. I hope you had a good weekend. Glad to have you here on a Monday morning.
Right, and as we said, Johnny's going to perform his debut album, and then we're going to examine this
whole
interesting...
album?
A song from his album, right. This interesting medical story about kids in daycare and the immune system consequences.
This involves a British study, and it asked the question, can daycare actually prevent cancer? Exposing your child at a young age to various diseases, will it help prevent those diseases later in life? The study actually involved leukemia, but it may be applicable to other diseases as well, and we'll get some opinion on that coming up.
And we're going to address a problem women particularly have. Why is it a lot of men can go out on the golf course and be perfectly relaxed about it? Women take a long bath and feel guilty? Yeah. Well, this morning a
What's
mother...
the point here?
The point is
Am I supposed to feel guilty about going on the golf course?
Yes, for instance, that would help.
One more thing I have to feel guilty about.
But there's a mother and daughter coming along, and they have a new
I go to a
approach.
baseball game. She makes me feel guilty.
They have a new approach for women to taking the guilt out of me time, as they call it, but doing a little something for yourself. It's really important to a lot of women.
I don't feel guilty.
Feel guilty about interrupting me on talking about female guilt. Here's Robin with an answer.
Hang in there, Diane. All right, good morning again, everyone. Snow shovels are getting a workout in the Midwest following a 2-day spring storm that dumped more than a foot of snow in some areas. Temperatures dipped 25 degrees below normal as the storm snarled traffic, snapped trees, and knocked out power to tens of thousands. Police say driver inexperience or high speed may have led to a deadly commuter train accident in Japan. At least 50 people were killed, hundreds injured when a train jumped the tracks and struck an apartment building. The accident happened about 250 miles west of Tokyo. Well, TV Turn-Off Week kicks off today, hopefully not right now. The 11th annual program designed to help parents get their kids away from the tube and into more healthy activities. Studies show that kids age 9 and up spend more than 6 hours a day watching TV or playing video games. And a fishing trip turned into a harrowing rescue mission in Oregon. The Coast Guard hoisted 7 people to safety after they got stranded on the rocks by rising tides. Luckily, one of them had a cell phone to call for help, and they got a signal out some kind of way. That's the latest news at 8:33. Now back to Lee Goldberg, our friend from WABC TV here in New York, who's in for our Tony Perkins. Lee?
All right, thanks so much, Robin. Great crowd out here. They're happy to be inside. It's a little chilly out there. I'm here with Nicole and Chris. They're from New Hampshire. Nicole has been asking me to do the weather. So, Nicole, go ahead, give me Concord, New Hampshire weather today.
Well, today it's going to be clearing and 55.
I like it. You got a future in this, right? Chris, they're going to get the Sox game in at Fenway tonight? Yeah, they're going to win, more importantly? All right, I like that. Good job. You're the right height for a weathercaster, too, believe me. All right, let's go ahead and look at the weather maps. One thing to tell you here, it's chilly across much of the nation. 47 out of 50 states below normal temperatures right now. The important thing is the blizzard ending in the Midwest and the Great Lakes, but severe weather across eastern Texas into Louisiana. The desert Southwest, best weather in the country. It's going to be beautiful, although, again, a little bit cool in Arizona. Flagstaff, 50, normally should be about 61 degrees. By the way, big rains will start to move into the central Gulf states tomorrow and all across the Mississippi. That is the weather across the nation. Now here's what you can expect.
Good morning, everyone. We're starting off the day very wet. It will be a bit of a soggy commute, but then this afternoon, the showers will gradually dry out. Tonight, we'll see partly cloudy skies, and by tomorrow, plenty of sunshine. This afternoon, high temperatures will be in the mid-60s, tomorrow the 70s.
Thank you very much. Charlie?
All right, thanks very much, Lee. Well, could putting your child into daycare, exposing them to germs and other kids, actually protect them from one of the most deadly diseases around? ABC News medical contributor Dr. David Katz is joining us now from New Haven, Connecticut. This involves a study from the British Medical Journal, and it has some surprising results, I think. Dr. Katz, good to have you with us.
Good to be here, Charlie. Yeah, it is surprising. I think counterintuitive for many people. Leukemia is a cancer of the white blood cells. When it occurs in children, it generally comes on between the ages of 2 and 5. It occurs in children who are genetically susceptible, but then it needs to be triggered by exposure to infection. We're not sure really which infections. But the odd thing is, early exposure to those germs seems to be protective. Delayed exposure to those very same germs seems to cause the health problem.
Well, you used the word counterintuitive, and indeed that seems correct to me, because most parents think that when the child is the youngest, at youngest ages, exposing to germs would be the most dangerous.
Exactly right. And I'm a parent of 5 kids and associate with friends who have children. And I'm always struck, particularly with the first child, how fastidious parents are. They're very careful to keep the little ones away from germs. They keep them away from other kids very often. They keep them away from germs. There's this fear that early exposure to germs is harmful. But if you think about it, Charlie, in our native context, we didn't always live in nuclear families. We lived in clans and tribes, and it was actually very normal for kids to be around other kids during that first year of life, and that means exposure to germs. That's the normal state of things.
So this study involved leukemia, but I'm wondering if this is applicable to other diseases as well. Exposing a child to other kids and perhaps to daycare early in life, would that tend to build up immunities towards things like measles, mumps, other childhood diseases?
There's much information throughout the medical literature to suggest that early exposure to germs is a normal part of priming the immune system. It may play a role in defense against some future infections. It may play an important role in defense against other kinds of cancer. And it may also defend against things like allergy and chronic.
Salon Nyla, located in the Embassy Suites Hotel in downtown Portland. Call for our Mother's Day packages.
First with breaking news, live reports from the field. Dave tracking the morning weather. Team traffic with Michael Convery and Sky 8. News Channel 8 at sunrise, where the news comes first.